Hi guys, and welcome back to LPB Racing for the Project Cars 2 Mixed Championship. This is race 3 of round 1 in the Group 5 cars. So we're getting ready for a start. Random grid in this one, so Neil Farlett's on pole. Lightning start from Bidzster, straight through in the middle of Neil and Nick Hash as you come down towards the first corner. Let's see how everyone else gets through further back. I think we're more or less okay. Cyrix gets round, so does Jamo a bit later on in the evening now, so the sun will play a factor in this race. There's contact between Jamo and Nick Hash in the background, but no harm done there. Just two cars colliding on the straight a little bit. Oh no! Jamo and Nick Hash contact again as they go backwards. So unlucky there. We'll get a replay on that after the first lap's finished. But as we go into the chicane, Cyrix through. Bidzster back down to second place because Neil passed him in the Porsche. As we look a bit further back, I think everyone else through there as clean as you can get, really. There's contact between the two red Porsches there, between Arzadar and Keith. They're both not in Team Red. Keith is in Team Green, but there's no green car available as we come through the second chicane now. TY's off ahead as well, Stevie as well. Stevie off as well, so we'll get a replay on that as well at the end of the first lap. Oh, TY contact with Arzadar as he rejoins. No, unlucky there. So as we come down towards the second chicane now, the sun right in people's faces. They can hardly see a thing coming down towards the braking zone. Lillian behind. Stevie locks up a bit as we go into the chicane. Oh, contact behind Seek and Nick Hash. I think that was when the camera gets to him. Is he going to wake up and get to him? Oh, I don't think there was no harm in that, but again, another replay on that after the first lap. So we'll go down towards the stadium section now. Neil is in the lead. There he is in the Porsche. And we've got Bidzster in second place in the Capri. So Bidzster back in this one after a disconnection in the second race. So Bidzster back in this. Cyrix there in third place. As we come round the exit of the stadium, Bidzster catching up to Neil here. Catching up. But he'll not be close enough through the first corner because Neil will just pull away onto the straight. Meanwhile, a bit further back, Arzadar Blade. Don't know whether that was contact with Lil, but Lil backed off. So if it was, Lil gives up the place. As they come out of that corner now, Nick Hash and Seat close together again. Oh, who was that off in the background? Was that Seat 1? Yes. Did what Lil did in the first race, except in the second race, except that he didn't actually go into the pit lane. He stopped before he went in and saved himself a disqualification. Meanwhile, Bidzster and Cyrix. Cyrix has gone through past Bidzster, so Bidzster must have made a mistake as well. So again, another replay. Here's a replay on board with Cyrix and the contact between Jamo and Nick Hash. See, they just made contact there. Here's on board with Cyrix from the start to look at what happened between Nick Hash and Jamo. So Jamo goes to the left, Nick Hash goes to the right. Then all of a sudden, Nick Hash comes across, contact with Jamo. Magnetic effect takes effect, and then Nick Hash is still on the grass, and then he comes back across. In a minute, there he goes, tap! Bang, hits Jamo, and Cyrix goes, thank you very much, I'll take both those places. And now here's what happened from Nick Hash's point of view. So we go down the straight, we're going to the left, we clearly see Jamo on his left there, so he hits him there. And then we're still on the grass, he's still not gone back onto the tarmac yet, and now he's even more on the grass, and comes across, he knows Jamo's there, comes across and hits him. I don't know why he did that. Why didn't he just keep the car to the right, I do not know. And now we're just going to keep with this as we go down towards the next chicane, because Keith comes in front. And then we hit the brakes, and then we decide to hit the brakes a bit later. We make contact with Lil and Keith, and more contacts made. So not the best few opening corners for Nick Hash, a bit reckless. There's a replay of what happened at the second chicane. Looking at TY just goes in, just too hot, goes the other way. Stevie exits stage left as well. Jamo comes through, avoids, Footman avoids, and then Arzadar comes through, and then just both cars, Arzadar drifts wide, TY comes in and then contact, which leaves TY spearing off onto the grass. Let's have a quick look on board with Arzadar. So there's Stevie rejoining the track, we go a bit wider, there's Footman avoiding TY, and then we just get some understeer there, and then TY off corner pocket. Here we are on board with Keith into the third chicane, so you see people lock up, one car goes off, Lillian gets hit by Nick Hash gets hit by Seek, and then we hit Seek. Play. So after we've come back from those replays, Stevie and Footman side by side into the chicane. Stevie sideways takes Footman off. Oh no! Contact between the two cars into the chicane. Stevie waits to recover, wait for a gap. Stevie wait for a gap. There's Nick Hash. recovers, and Footman should be recovering there as well. So again, another replay is necessary. Here's a replay of what happened between Stevie and Footman into the chicane. So we'll just get rid of the camera here. You see Stevie breaks onto the grass and then out of control, hits Footman, spins around into the wall. Stevie, very lucky to avoid hitting RZR blade there, and then they both rejoin and then continue on their way. But as we go back towards the front, Bidzster's got past Neil. Neil's made a mistake there as well. God, it's all happening in this race. Again, another replay. So as we come back from that, hopefully a break from the replays now. As we go into the second chicane, Bidzster catching Cyrex. Oh, right over the curbs. Aggressive stuff from Bidzster as he comes onto the back of Cyrex. This is where Neil will start to catch them both up. When in the power of the Porsche, be right on them as they come down towards the second chicane. As we look a bit further back, we've got another battle further back. Lil very close with Footman and TY. TY up the inside of Footman, thinks twice about it. Liliam onto the brakes, into the chicane, over the chicane. All very well through there. Now TY and Footman will close up out of this. The power of the Porsche and the Datsun with the V8 in it. They'll catch up to Liliam and Nick Hash quite rapidly here. Footman going for the inside on Liliam. Into the... Oh, contact between Footman and Liliam. Liliam goes round, Footman goes round as well. Nick Hash into the wall as well there. So again, we'll get some more replays on that. Here's a replay of the incident between Liliam and Footman on board with TY. So you see into the corner, Footman's on the inside. Brake, and then Footman doesn't turn, and then Liliam turns into him. So it just both happens at once, and then Nick just spins on his own. As we look at the front, Bidzster and Cyrex pulling away. Niels had to back off for a few track limit penalties. They will be lifted from the next round onwards. We were just an experiment in this race, and obviously in these races, and obviously it's not gone down too well because it's spoiled a bit of the racing. So they will be lifted for next time. But I will be keeping a personal eye on track limits myself to make sure that people are not abusing the track limits or taking really big advantage of them. So here's Jamo and Blakeney for fourth place into the chicane. Very nicely through there. Jamo hops one curb, leaves that one just to get a better run out of that corner. Got used to that BMW now in race 3, up to 5th, so good job from Jamo there. Meanwhile, Bidzster and Cyrex still very close. Bidzster up on 2 wheels as they come out of the second chicane. He's really pushing hard now, trying to catch Cyrex. Both cars squirming round for grip as they're in the draft of each other, coming down towards that third chicane now. Going to be close stuff. Cyrex moves to the inside to defend, Bidzster to the outside. Onto the brakes. I would imagine Cyrex will take the inside line to this one. Yes, he will. Bidzster lets him go. Cyrex again out of that corner. Not much Bidzster can do there, but wait patiently for another gap to open up. As they come down towards the stadium section, we'll have a quick look back at things happening further back. There's Liliam with Nick Hash following behind as they go through the chicane the second chicane as well. And then we've got Stevie close to Keith as well. So all those cars are very close as well. So Bidzster and Cyrex again, the battle to watch at the minute. The battle for the lead, two tenths apart. In fact, to be honest with you, you couldn't even throw a blanket over him. As Cyrex goes wide onto the grass, Bidzster goes through. Bidzster goes through into the lead of the race. Cyrex, just a little error there is all it takes, and Bidzster through into the lead. So we'll see how that pans out in a few laps, see if Bidzster can keep hold of his lead. Meanwhile, Stevie catching up to RZR. So the two Team Red cars catching up to each other. As Keith behind is in Team Green, even though he's in a red car. As we look a bit further back as well, there's Nick Hash with Footman behind him. So having been caught up in those little incidents earlier, they move further back. Nick Hash in the Capri should be a little bit better in this section, and it shows because he's just pulling away from Footman slightly through this section. As they go onto the start finish straight to start lap 3 for them, to start lap 4 for them. As we look at Blakeney now, close to Jamo. Jamo's got past Blakeney, so Jamo's into 4th place, Blakeney down to 5th, but the top end of that skyline should help towards the end of the straight. Takes a while to get there, but it's got good horsepower, that Nissan. not particularly good torque, but it's got good horsepower. As they come towards the second chicane, Jamo in front, onto the brakes already in the BMW, through one curb, over the other, and nice and neatly out the other side. Meanwhile, there's Footman in 10th place. So he's past Nick Hash now. Nick Hash must have made a mistake at the first corner. Footman goes through into 10th place. And let's have a look a bit further up. So we've got Stevie and RZR Blade, the two team red cars side by side coming out the second chicane, coming down towards the third one. Battle of wits. Don't think there'll be no team orders in place here. RZR goes slightly defensive, but then Stevie finds the line into the inside. Stevie goes through into 6th place and dispatches his teammate down to 7th, but then leaves him vulnerable to Keith behind when the camera catches up. There we go. So you've got Stevie in the red and yellow one in front, then you've got the two red cars behind of RZR and Keith, not teammates, I can tell you that. RZR in the one with the white banner with the name above, and then there's Keith that we are looking at now, right behind him, applying the pressure. RZR really squirming the car out of the corner. No, where's RZR gone? He's gone off. RZR's gone off. There he is, just behind him. He went straight on at the hairpin, just outbraked himself. Unlucky there for RZR Blade. As we look back in 11th place, Nick Hash, he's been caught slowly by Lil Yam in 12th place. So Lil Yam back on the move after those being involved in those incidents earlier on in the race. So Lil Yam closing up. Meanwhile at the front, Bidzster is still out in front with a good lead, and Cyrex is still trying to keep with him. As Neil Farmack has closed back up in that Porsche, he's put a few consistent laps in his Neil. So Neil on the move as they come down towards the second chicane. Over one, over the other. There's the tyre wall damage from the previous instance. As they go around that long corner, out of it, and down the straight. Cyrex will be caught by Neil probably near the end of this straight, or will be very close to going to the stadium after this second chicane. So we come up closer now. Bidzster onto the brakes through there. Let's have a look at Neil. And the camera catches up. It zooms in way too much, that camera. And yes, Neil very close behind Cyrex now, so Neil might be able to get Cyrex into this next section. Cyrex will have to think about defending, but he doesn't even bother. Neil goes to the inside, but no, he has to brake a lot earlier than Cyrex. Cyrex keeps his second place into the stadium section, and that is that for now. Neil on the brakes into the hairpin, a lot wider than the other cars, can't take as narrow a line. Meanwhile, TY's caught right back up to the back of Lil for 12th place. So that Datsun catching the Capri, you can see the closing speed there. TY not having a very good time out this time. He's only making the odd wildcard appearance this season due to other commitments. Lil goes straight on. TY picks up 12th place. Lil goes straight on onto the grass and then has to recover. So I'm looking for Lil back down to last place, 13th place. So it's a team black, one and last at the minute. Cyrex is still right behind Bidzster. He's in the draft looking for any way through. Let's see if he goes for a move into this first chicane. Bidzster just slightly defensive into the middle of the road just to make sure that Cyrex isn't going to go for any dives. And then goes out of the corner. Both cars get the power on. Neil again must have made a little mistake because he's backed off a little bit again, but he should be with him at the end of the lap if he can keep it all clean and all square. Meanwhile, Keith has just got past Blakeney, I think, so Blakeney down to 7th place. Again, that Porsche will pull away under acceleration, but that Skyline has not got bad top end speed itself, so watch out for that. So watch this space. Keith, as we come down towards the first chicane, Keith on the brakes a lot earlier. The brakes on that Skyline quite good as we go into the chicane. Oh, Keith's made an error, gone straight off onto the grass. Blakeney catches up. Keith's rejoined, gets the power on, so luckily it might have just saved himself there. So no harm done there as we look at Cyrex in second place. There he is. He's being caught by Neil Farmack now, so Neil Farmack back up with the leaders again. So having a very rubber band race is Neil, the old rubber band effect. He closes up and then fades away, closes up and fades away again. So hopefully Neil will be able to stay with him this time as we come round here. Oh, Cyrex so sideways in that BMW. Fantastic to watch as we come into the hairpin, sliding that car in again. We'll just have a brief break from this and have a look at Blakeney and Keith, who look to be a bit closer on track. RZR's catching up to Blakeney as well, so that's going to be another one to watch on there as we approach the last lap as Blakeney goes across the grass. We'll keep with this for now because RZR will probably be closer to have a go. Really struggling to get the power down in that skyline. RZR will be right on the back of him. Come this into the stadium section. In fact, he's going to pass him even before that. There he goes. That's how much momentum Blakeney lost. RZR in front into the stadium section, and Blakeney closes right up again. Blakeney looking for a way through. RZR goes defensive into the hairpin. Will he carry too much speed or will he get it stopped? Blakeney has a cheeky look up the inside, but I'm sorry, Blakeney, you're not allowed to pass on the grass. RZR goes wide. Blakeney up the inside now, side by side through this last section. Both cars giving each other room. Blakeney still on the outside and still there. RZR showing his nose at the inside again. Blakeney side by side with him. RZR touches the brake just to steady the car into the corner, and Blakeney goes right round the outside. I'm keeping that place, Sunshine, back there. So Blakeney wins that one. Meanwhile, the leaders, top three, very close in this one. Neil Farmack catching up in the Porsche. We come down to the second chicane for the last time. Hop, hop, through, power on. Bidzster and Cyrex have got to get that power on so early to save the life from that Porsche, because that Porsche will be catching up now and doing a bit of lawn mowing while he's at it. Neil gets the power on, going past Cyrex. Will he get past Bidzster? Bidzster moves across to defend. He says, no you don't, Sunshine, I'm going to defend this position. Onto the brakes, flames spitting from that Capri. Over one curb, over the other. Out of the chicane. This is going to be important on traction. Neil gets a bit squirmy. Cyrex comes up alongside, but no. Bidzster's going to have to defend for his life now. He's keeping to the right, saying to Neil, you have to go around the long way if you're going to do it, and be brave. Neil's slightly ahead. Bidzster on the brakes into the stadium section is ahead. So Bidzster is ahead, and that's very important. Neil in front of Cyrex. So Bidzster sliding that car in sideways just to try and get as much speed as he can. Round the one, round the other. Let's have a quick look at Neil and Cyrex going side by side through the last corner. Bidzster looks like he's going to get this. Neil Farmack still keeping Cyrex at bay. Coming out the last corner, Cyrex gets a good run, but Bidzster has won the race. Bidzster wins. Neil second, Cyrex third. Good race by all. Brilliant race at the front. Jamo, there he is in the BMW. He's going to come through for a fourth place, so not bad. He salvaged something in race 3 after having a torrid race 1 and 2. So Jamo's going to be fourth. Stevie is going to come through in 5th position. Keith, there he is in the Porsche. Hopefully going to be in 6th place. We'll just keep an eye as he comes towards the line. I think he should be alright now with the last few corners. RZR Blade, 7th position. It's all a bit more spread out further back. RZR, well, provisional 7th. He's not quite there yet. He's got seat closing up on him. He needs to make this last corner. As we go through this last corner, straightens the car up, gets the power on. And then over the line we go. RZR Blade, 7th position. Seat 1, 8th. Blakeney, 9th. And then back here, we're just going to wait a bit more for these other cars to cross the line. As we look at Nick Hash in the Capri. Coming down towards the last section. Just got to make sure he gets through here cleanly, without no mistakes. And he should be coming home for a 10th position. Footman behind in 11th. Let's just stay with this and make sure that they all finish. Nick Hash, very squirmy out that last few corners, but keeping it together. Up over the curb, Footman closing in with every breath. As they go a bit wide, but Nick Hash should be able to get it straight line and home from here. There he goes. Nick Hash crosses the line in 10th position. Footman's going to be 11th. TY is going to, Lil is going to be 12th, and TY is going to be in the unlucky 13th position. But there's Bidzster. Okay guys, let's take you through those results for race 3. So it is Bidzster who is your winner by 2.7 seconds from Neil Farmack, and then it was Cyrex. Then in 4th place, Jamo. 5th place is Stevie, followed by Keith and RZR. Then it's 8th place, it is Seek 1 in the other BMW. Then it is Blakeney in 9th place, as we just switch over the screen. Then it is Nick Hash in 10th place. Footman is 11th, Lil Yam comes home in 12th place, and TY, the unlucky 13th, in 13th place. So, and also, again, your fastest lap goes to Neil Farmack, which was 1.5 seconds faster than the others. But there's Bidzster, our race winner. and we'll see you guys next time at Alton Park in the Genettas. So take care.